Good day, I'm Richard from Pleasureway Industries, and today we're going to be showing you how to de-winterize your unit, otherwise known as summarizing sometimes. Today we're going to show you all the different steps on this Plateau TS, but the general principles will be the same for most Pleasureway units, with some location differences for where the pump and where the bypass valves are. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go underneath the unit and we're going to close the valve on your fresh tank that you've opened up for winterize to drain your tank. So once you've done that, then you come up and you add some water into your fresh tank. Open the water fill with your key and then remove the cap. Just grabbing a garden hose, sticking it inside and turning on your line and filling it up. As it fills up, you can watch your monitors inside and you can see your fresh tank filling up. I like to at least get 25 to 50% of the tank filled, and then we can go on to start pumping water through our system. Okay, so now that we've gotten water in our fresh tank, now we come back over to the driver's side of the unit and we go underneath and we make sure all the low points are closed. Usually we leave one open for winter, so just make sure those are all shut up. And then what I'll do is I'll actually take my hose and connect it to my city water. So when I do that, the first thing I want to do is pull out this little filter and check the O-ring to make sure it's in good shape. And then I can just pop it back inside its little compartment and connect up our garden hose so that we can get the last of the antifreeze out of the city water system as well. Like so. All right, so now we come inside and our next step is to get at the water pump, which in this case is under the bottom drawer in the kitchen. We've removed it out and our water pump is just inside here. So what we're checking for now is to make sure that our suction side has been reinstalled after it was winterized and put away for the winter. And also we want to double check on our filter that's on the side of the pump. So we just reach in, give it a quick turn, and we pull out the little filter system and we check to make sure there's no debris in there, make sure this O-ring seal is in good shape, and if it looks good, then we just put that back in and we're ready to start pumping water through our system. So now that we've got all that connected up, now we turn on our pump and you'll see it turns blue and that'll start drawing water from our tank. And I start by running water through our toilet. And I said you'll see the pink flowing. And I keep it going until I see clear water running through there. Like so. So now you've done the toilet, now we go around and do all the sinks and showers. So we're going to pull this shower head down, run one side until it's clear, then run the shower again until it's running clear, and then run the other side. And your bathroom's ready. I just let that sit and let it get any excess water into the sink there. Okay, and the last thing inside here is the kitchen sink. So I usually just pull the sprayer out, do the cold side first. Doesn't take a lot of time to get it running fresh. And then I run the hot side. This one will take the longest amount of time because this is the longest recirculating hot line in the system. So it's got the most antifreeze in it. So it takes a fair amount of time for this to run clear. There we go. Okay, so now that we've done that, now we go outside and do our outside shower. Okay, so now we're back on the driver's side. We've got our outside shower, pull out our shower head. And again, always start with cold because it's got the shortest lines. Doesn't take long for it to start running clear. And then run your hot until you've got clear water running through both of them. And that's it for your outside shower. Next, we're going to purge the antifreeze out of our city water line. So before we turn on our water source, we're going to go and turn off our pump. We connected our water line up earlier. So now what we did is we turn on our water and we have pressure here. So all we have to do is open our outside shower tap, and this will allow the pressure from the hose to push that last little bit of antifreeze that we had run through that city water out. And now we're done with that city water. We can turn off our tap and disconnect the line and continue our winterizing with our pump. All right, so now the last part of getting the antifreeze out of the system is the low point drains. So we're gonna crawl underneath the edge of the unit. It's just behind the sewer holder on here, right along the gray tank. And there are 3 lines there, red, blue, and white. And we're gonna just open them for a few seconds just to make sure that there's no more antifreeze in the system. And just like on winterizing, the white line takes a little bit longer than the red and the blue, so you'll have to hold that one a little bit longer. Okay, so now that we've gotten all the antifreeze out of our system, now we want to put our filter in our water heater and unbypass our water heater so that we can put water inside it. So the first thing we want to do is check our filter and check our O-rings to make sure they're in good shape, checking for any cracks, breaks, or wear down of this. And then if you see any of that, just go to your local RV dealer to get a replacement. And then we can install this on the water heater. Just open the door, pop down the drain line, stick the filter in. It's got marked top, so it makes it easy to remember. Snap that back in place, and then close our door. So now we're going to get at the bypass valves. We just take off this little compartment underneath the closet. So now we're going to go inside and we're going to start at the bottom and we're going to open our cold line. So give it a quarter turn, then shut off the bypass, and then open the recirculating line and open the hot line. And that's it. So now that we've got the water heater in summer mode, we're going to leave the compartment door off. So that once we've got the water running through our system and have filled the water heater, we'll come back here and check to make sure we have no leaks behind the water heater. So now that we've done that, we've got some water going into our water heater. There's still some air in that line. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go around and run the hot line on all the different taps. That will get the air out of the line. The one that will make the biggest difference though is right here in the kitchen. So we're going to start with it. Like I said, we'll just run our hot line, and like I said, what it'll do is as it's running, it'll just run for a little bit, and then as it gets to the filling up the tank in the water heater, like I said, it'll start spurting a little bit to get the last of the air out. And then when that's running steady, you know you've got that air out, and we can go do all the rest of the taps. Okay, so now we'll do the hot line in the bathroom. Just making sure that there's no more air in the lines. And once it's running straight again, now we move on to the next tap. Okay, so now we do our outside shower. Again, just running it. Just waiting to make sure there's no air. You'll be able to hear a little bit of air running through the lines in the back of the shower. And then, like I said, once it's running nice and smoothly and you don't hear any gurgling, you can shut it off and you're ready to go. Now we can start turning on our appliances and running our appliances. Okay, so now that your water lines and your water heater are filled, we'll go back inside and we'll check your bypass valves and your water connections to make sure there's no leaks. And if there isn't, then we'll put our cover back on and we're ready for summer. Okay, so at this point, your unit is technically de-winterized at this point. So now we want to make sure we can run our water heater, but we do that by making sure before we go inside that we turn on the power switch here. It can go up or down, makes no difference. Little green light will come on to let you know it's ready to go. And now you can run it from inside through your control panel. Okay, so now we've turned on our switch on our water heater. So now we come over here and like I said, next thing we want to make sure is that our batteries are charged up after they've been sitting all winter. So we plug into shore power. Like I said, that'll give us our easiest charge for the system. I mean, if you don't have access to shore power, you can turn on your key and get your solar or run the engine and get that going as well. But like I said, I like to make sure, because this will charge your batteries overnight and let it get to full charge. Then you want to run your propane appliances, and you want to make sure that you've turned on your propane tank to make sure that now your propane is flowing and all your appliances will run properly. Okay, so another check that we like to do when we're summarizing or de-winterizing the unit is to check our gate valves. Right now I've got a brand new unit, so all we've got is water and antifreeze in the lines. So when I open the gate valves, that's all I'm going to get. If you do this, you may want to go to your local dumping station to do it, because there may be a little bit of residue from using those tanks during the last year as well. So now we're going to just make sure that each of the valves is opening and closing properly. I'm just going to pull it open quickly and then shut it like so. And it should shut off the flow. And again, same with the black tank. Okay, so like I said, now we're going to run our appliances. They're all controlled here on our panel. So we'll just furnace, we'll turn up the temperature, turn on the furnace and let it run. Water heater, turn it on. Open a hot tap until we have hot water. And then on the fridge, just switch it over to the little propane button and make sure that it kicks in. We recommend now doing a pre-camping check, which means to run all our appliances, which includes our air conditioner. So if we've got 30 amp power, we can run it through that, our shore, or if not, we'll run our generator to run that air conditioner as well. We'll run our inverter and make sure that our appliances run on there, running our induction cooktop and microwave. These are all just to make sure that everything's working properly before we go out on our first camping trip. So this concludes our de-winterizing/summarizing of our unit. So if you're having any issues with any of the processes in this video, don't hesitate to contact your local dealer.